Good morning, YouTube. We're day 3.5 or 4, whatever you want to call it, of the 6-speed charger project we got going on here. The motor and trans are still inside the car as of right now. Pilot bearing will be showing up today, so that will be coming back out. Pilot bearing installed, clutch, flywheel, all that. It'll go back together for final process, and then we will be finishing up welding underneath the car inside the tunnel when the motor's out. We're still making some patch panels for the actual where we had to cut the tunnel out for the shifter. I am currently working on getting these pedals in here. Grab a flashlight real quick. Trying to quickly make a nice day intro video while the machines are not running. As most of you know, we are a parts manufacturing company. That's our main day-to-day, every day. So while the machines are not running, I'm gonna make this video. So 3 pedals are in the car. We had to pull some more stuff out of the car to be able to get it in. We're test fitting the pedal assembly. We're running into a little bit of an issue. I don't know if you can see, the clutch pedal is real close to the mounting bracket for that it's the Bluetooth module and I believe the RF hub, but they're a little bit close, so we might have to do some moving around there. I don't exactly know what we were going to do or if the clutch pedal even comes that far forward, but so today our goal is to get the pedal assembly in, the patch panels done on the inside and underside, hopefully, of the car, and get the motor and trans together for the final time. We are still a little ways out, hoping another day or two of solid work on this and we might have a running and driving car. We stopped by a drive shaft company here locally in Kansas City. Shout out to North Manufacturing this morning for helping us out. We have the Challenger front part of the drive shaft. This is out of the 6-speed Challenger. All the parts we bought came out of a wrecked 6-speed. It took a hit in the front end and kind of jerked the motor and trans backwards. Everything on the tranny was fine. I think the front cover took a couple cracks, but this is not the motor out of that car. This was my original 6.4, not the original 6.4, but the 6.4 that I built for this car. So anyways, when it got pushed back, there's little rivets that go in here that hold this drive shaft together. And then you have the factory slip yoke down here. Well, what happened is when it took the hit, it broke the rivets and pushed this drive shaft down inside this tube. It's more of like a safety precaution, I would imagine, so it doesn't destroy the rear end and everything else in a front end impact. So it pushed down and we were having some issues trying to get it pulled back into the splines. Again, North Manufacturing had us handled in and out in about 10 minutes, stuck it in there and got it to where it needed to go. So super appreciate that. Really nice guys over there. If you're in the Kansas or Missouri area in Kansas City, they are quick, easy, and very reasonably priced for any drive shaft things you guys need. So we're gonna get back at it. We are gonna try to see if we can get, I had to strip a lot of the clutch master cylinder and brake switch off that pedal assembly when I stuck it in there. It's really tight going in there. So I'm gonna see if we can get that to go now and see if we can get that stuff on there or not. It might be a little bit difficult underneath the dash. We're really just trying to test fit this to see if we can where we need to run these lines out. This is the factory clutch master cylinder here. And we have the reservoir line right here that goes up to a little nipple on the brake booster. And so I need to get that line out of the car into the engine compartment, as well as the factory connector for the actual clutch line down to the slave cylinder, which is ran right up here right now. We're probably going to go under the booster. There's a few spots we can tag in over here. We have a wiring harness coming out of one and then the hood pop out of the other, so it should not be an issue to be able to get those routed and through the firewall where they need to go. The biggest thing will be doing some cutting and fitting underneath the dash to be able to get this in there in a place that it was really never meant to go. That's a lot of the fun with doing this project, is the fact that while the Challengers came with this, the Chargers never did. And while there's a lot of similarities in the car, there are some things that are different. We might be doing some research to see if this dash cage is similar. I'm guessing that it's different, but we are going to see. Again, I might have to make some cutting up in. Let's see if we can get you guys a view here. Right up there, you can see like the little post coming off. While it clears it and it does not hit it, there is a lack there of room that it needs to go. And I don't know how far back this clutch physically needs to come in order for it to do its job. So that's where we're at. Our goal is to get those patch panels done, that pedal assembly mounted today. As soon as that pedal assembly is mounted and this is done, we can start putting this side of the dash back together. We're still waiting on the PCM body control module from Hemi Tuner Performance. AJ over at Hemi Tuner is doing all the programming on it, so shout out to him. I believe he's going to give us a base kind of run tune for the motor when he sends the PCM and body control module back, so we can at least so we got the pedal assembly finally installed. We had to clearance up top where the slave cylinder lock was kind of hitting the dash support frame, but we have that one line right there that runs up to the reservoir, the brake reservoir, through. And I think I'm going to pull the, as you can see, the clutch lines coming through the firewall there. I may pull that off so we can get the grommet and such through the firewall, but it has to come through on the driver's side or on the engine bay side, excuse me, instead of the inside. Just gotta pull that off the back of the slave cylinder, sorry, the clutch master cylinder. And then up here where this grommet is where the reservoir line needs to come through to make it to this nipple on the brake booster. So the Challengers run this hood prop wire and the master cylinder reservoir line in the same grommet. The Chargers run theirs through, they run one of the wiring harnesses through that grommet hole that we need. So I think we're going to make some modifications to that grommet, run that clutch line through there, and tag it right into the master cylinder, the brake master cylinder, which they share a reservoir. We're just going to have to cut that little end off the master cylinder there. Let's see if I can get a good picture of it. There we go. So the actual cylinder, or the actual reservoir, is the same reservoir for Chargers and Challengers. The only difference is the Challenger has that little end cut off and the Charger does not. I have another Challenger brake booster here that if something does happen or whatnot, I'm going to say a prayer that it does not, But we have another one here that I can use. So we should be good to go. So we're gonna keep chipping away at it. We are going to pull the motor out here shortly. Motor and trans will be coming out shortly to do the final installation, clutch, flywheel, all that stuff. Parker's gonna get in and start welding it. He has been doing other things. Sorry, the air compressor just kicked on. He's been doing other things while I've been messing with the pedal assembly, so he can start messing with the floor. I have plenty to do once the motor comes out. That'll give him the opportunity to do some welding that we need to get done inside the car. So we actually used the same charger, the factory brake booster and master cylinder that was in the car originally. All we did is we cut this little guy right off the end of the barb fitting, and that allowed us to slide that reservoir line right on there and then put a nice clamp on it, and it looks good to go now. Graham! So now we got the motor back out, motor and trans back out. Parker is going to finish up welding the floor, as we talked about before. He's got some patch panels to make and all that. We are going to separate the motor and trans one more time. Step over here. We have motor out now. 6.4 is now out. And we are going to put this beautiful 6-speed engine harness attached to the motor. There's Mr. TV going at it. Jesus, you fucking piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here. That's going in the video. Now he'll have an actual HR claim to make.
Call me a piece of shit on a YouTube video.
This fucking piece of shit right here. Fuck you, quit throwing them at me. All right, well now we got the engine harness all attached to the 6.4. We're gonna be waiting to put the intake manifold on until it gets in the car. It makes it a little easier to get to these water tube connections in the back. And then we have the AC compressor line to hook up. We have the throttle body. Then of course, once we hook up the transmission, just waiting on that pilot bearing to show up. Should have been here today, but might be tomorrow. We can finish plugging in all the transmission connections, put the flywheel, clutch assembly, all that on there. And then once the transmission's on, we can put, these are just the starter wires that need to go on. There's 2 of them hanging down here. PCM plugs, grounds, and the fuse box connection. So AJ from Hemi Tuner Performance, again, who's doing all the programming and tuning on the car with the 6-speed swap. They're sending me a new RF hub. We're overnighting my key to him today so he can program that. But it looks like body control module, PCM, RF hub, and key reprogramming, we should be able to make this thing fire. We're gonna have to do a little bit of pinning in the PCM side after talking to him today for a clutch pedal ground, just so it knows that the clutch pedal's depressed, so it'll actually start the car. With an automatic car, you just push the brake obviously and then it will start. With it being a 6-speed, it's going to want a clutch signal, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So we'll keep you updated. We're going to finish welding this one side today, and then I think we're going to be back at it tomorrow. We're getting the main patch panels in, and then we will be going underneath the car to finish it under there as well. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. We're just wrapping up around here, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks.